Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 and we are going to present about labour rights and working condition. Before we start the presentation, let me introduce our group members. The first one is HANA AMRINA, SITI Solehah, NURUL JANNAH, HAFILDA, AINA NAZIRAH, AZRIA HEREENA SOFFEA, and the last one, NURUL HIDAYAH.
Hi guys, so today we are talking about labor economics. I know it sounds super serious, but it's actually really interesting once you break it down. Basically, it's all about how jobs work, how people get paid, and how government rules come into play. Like it covers everything from why wages are what they are, and why some people work more or less, and how policies affect all of that. But here's the thing, it's not just about how boring numbers, but it's actually real life stuff too, like fairness, right, and making sure people are not treated badly at work. A big part of this is labor's right. Think fair pay, safe workplace, and no discrimination. Like, can you imagine working somewhere unsafe or getting paid less just because of who you are? That's why things like minimum wages, laws, and rules about equal treatment are so important. Plus, workers can team up, form unions, and fight for better pay or condition. It's kind of like standing up for yourself on a bigger scale. Of course, it's not all perfect. There are still problems like women and minority getting paid less, or part-time and informal workers not getting the protection they should. But honestly, when companies respect their workers, everyone wins. Business look good, workers are happier, and economy grows. It's like ripple effect of the positivity. And can we talk about how this ties into a big goals like the UN Sustainable Development Goals? Labor strike help with the goal 8 decent work and economic growth. So yeah, it's not just about jobs, it's about making the world a better place. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you learned something new about labor economics, and it is actually pretty cool when you think about it. Thanks for watching.
Minimum wage policies analysis addressing wage stagnation and poverty. The Malaysian government has introduced minimum wage policies to tackle wage stagnation and poverty, ensuring that workers receive a fair wage to meet basic needs and reduce their financial burden. The second one is economic contribution from higher wages. The policies assume that workers that earn stable and higher wages will contribute more efficiently to increase production output. The third one is the introduction and evolution of minimum wage. Minimum wage was first introduced in 2013 at 900 ringgit for Peninsular Malaysia and 800 ringgit for Sabah and Sarawak, which progressively increased to 1,500 by 2022. And the last one is Progressive Wage Policy, PWP. This is inspired by Singapore progressive wage policies. Malaysia has implemented multiple wage floor and allocated around 5 billion wage subsidies for 1,000 employees from June to September 2024. Next, regional variation and impact on workers and businesses. The first one is disparities between urban and rural areas. The minimum wage policies highlight that wage gaps between urban and rural regions, where rural workers benefit more as it helps cover their basic expenses and improve their spending on essential like foods and education. The second one is challenges for rural businesses. Small and medium enterprise SMEs in rural areas face difficulties due to the increased labor cost, which leads to limited resources and potential workforce reduction. The third one is urban workers struggle with high living costs. Urban workers in high-cost areas like Kuala Lumpur and Selangor will struggle to improve their living standard as the current minimum wage fails to meet their higher rent and transportation expenses. The last one is the demand for higher urban minimum wage. The urban workers require a minimum wage of 2,000 ringgit per month to meet their basic needs. This exceeds the current minimum wage policies and creates ongoing challenges. Challenges in enforcing wage law. The first one is the opposition to minimum wage policies. The critics argue that the higher minimum wage may negatively impact employment and GDP growth by narrowing opportunities for fresh graduates as the employers prioritize hiring skills and experienced workers. The second one is impact on SMEs. The SMEs face difficulties adapting to the higher labor costs, which limits their expansion and potentially reducing workforce sizes due to the constrained capital. The third one is the employer non-compliance. It means that many employers evade this minimum wage law due to the weak enforcement and monitoring, which undermining the workers' welfare and increasing income inequality among low-income workers. And the last one is resource constraint in enforcement. The regulatory agency, including the Ministry of Human Resources, struggle with manpower and funding shortages, which leads to insufficient inspection and enforcement of wage law.
Hi, I will be presenting about the migrant labour issue in Malaysia. The first one is contribution of migrant workers to key industry. Migrant workers' involvement are essential to Malaysia economy. In agriculture, they are critical during harvest period, especially in palm oil production. They also play a significant role in construction and are vital in manufacturing industry, such as electronic, textile and rubber glove. Furthermore, they provide essential low-skill services like caregiving and housekeeping. About 15% of Malaysia workforce consists of migrant workers from countries such as Indonesia, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar and the Philippines. And the next one is exploitation, working condition and lack of legal protection. Migrant workers in Malaysia face several exploitation, especially in the construction, agriculture and manufacturing sector. They are often in the low wages and high recruitment costs, leading to debt. Restrictive labour relations limit their mobility and freedom, making it difficult to change employers or report abuse without fear of retaliation. Their working conditions are typically unsafe and living conditions are crowded and unhygienic, posing significant health risks, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Additionally, there's a lack of legal protection with weak enforcement of labour regulations. And the last one is government reform and policies. The Malaysian government has implemented several reforms to improve conditions for migrant workers. The Ministry of Human Resources issued a minimum pay order to ensure fair wages, and amendment to the Employment Act 1955 have provided better protection for domestic workers. Measures targeting unlawful recruitment agencies and partnership with international organizations like the International Labour Organization have also been introduced to combat forced labour. However, challenges remain such as weak enforcement of labour regulation and language barrier that hinder workers' awareness of their rights. Need a stronger labour inspection, legal aid and visa policy reform for a substantive change.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is HAFILDA binti Sikandar and my number metric is 291955. Today, I will continue the presentation with my topic, which is gender equality in the workforce. So, gender equality in the workforce means giving men and women the same chances to succeed at work. It's not just about fairness, it also helps societies and economies grow stronger. So the first point is explain about women's workforce participation and barriers. Over time, more women have joined the workforce, but their numbers are still lower than men's. So this happened because of cultural expectation and a lack of education or job opportunities, especially in rural areas. Many women also work in low-paying or part-time jobs, which limits their chances to grow. So to fix this, we need programs to encourage women to work in fields like science and technology. Mentorships and financial support can also help women succeed. For example, programs like Girl Who Code and microfinance initiatives have given women tools to grow and contribute. Now we move to the second point, which is workplace discrimination and harassment. Discrimination and harassment are big problems for women at work. Women often earn less than men for the same job, and many face bullying or harassment, making it hard for them to stay in their jobs. To solve this, companies can create strong rules against harassment, such as train employees to respect each other and provide safe ways for women to report problems. Companies like Google and Unilever have shown how these steps can create better workplaces. So next is maternity leave and family-friendly policies. Family-friendly policies like maternity leave and flexible work hours help women balance work and family. During the pandemic, work-from-home options showed how these policies can support women and keep them in the workforce. Countries like Sweden and Norway and companies like Microsoft have made great progress by offering childcare and flexible work options. So the last point is role of government. The government plays a key role in promoting gender equality. They can create laws to ensure equal pay, prevent discrimination, and provide support for working mothers, like affordable childcare. Government can also encourage companies to hire women in leadership roles by offering tax incentives or setting quotas. For example, Iceland has strict equal pay laws, and Rwanda has high female representation in leadership because of government action. So gender equality isn't just about women, it's something everyone benefits from. By helping women overcome challenges, we can build better workplaces, stronger economies, and a brighter future for all. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is AINA NAZIRAH. My matric number is 292136. So now I will explain about unionization and workers' rights in economics. The barriers to unionization, employer resistance, and legal constraint. The first one is unionization, the focus of labor economics, where they addresses power imbalances between workers and employees. They also aims to ensure fair treatment in the workplace. The purpose of trade unions is formed by employees to collectively bargain with employers, where they address issues such as salary, insurance, job safety, and also working environment. What is the role of trade union? They are supposedly to resolve income gaps, and then address workplace violence and harassment, and they also contribute to economic welfare. The workers' right in unionization include legal measure for adequate wage, suitable working conditions, and the right to freely associate. What is the barrier to unionization? The first one is employers' resistance. Second one is the legal constraint. Third one, influence of formal economic structure. And the fourth are gig economy and informal labor force, which leave many workers unprotected. And the significance of unions is play a critical role in advocating for social and economic justice. They are also essential for adapting to economic changes to ensure workers' rights are protection.
The rise of smartphone and technological advancement has transformed the retail marketplace, notably through a gig economy.
which support on-demand business by connecting workers and customers via apps and platforms. Gig workers under contract with on-demand companies provide service in industry like transportation, delivery, and healthcare. The gig economy offers benefits such as flexibility in work hours, location, and job types, low barriers to entry, and opportunities to additional income, especially for students or those seeking part-time work. However, it also presents challenges, including a lack of social benefit such as health insurance, paid leave, retirement, income instability due to fluctuating demand, and risky working conditions, especially for ride-hailing drivers. The informal sector encompasses economic activities not covered by legal or formal agreements, often arising from precarious work, gender inequality, poverty, and high employment, especially in fragile or conflict-affected areas. It significantly contributes to global economic productivity, with over half of the world's workforce, more than 2 billion people, employed informally. Despite its scale, the informal sector faces numerous vulnerabilities. Firstly, workers often endure unstable and erratic income, making financial planning difficult, and many earn below minimum wage, perpetuating poverty cycles. Women face heightened risk as they are disproportionately represented in the most precarious role, often earning less, working fewer hours, and experience pronounced gender pay gap compared to the formal sectors. To address the challenges of the gig economy and informal sector, several policies should be implemented. Firstly, social protection policies, which is introduce social insurance scheme covering healthcare, pension, and unemployment benefit for all workers, including informal ones. Provide direct financial support during crisis to safeguard livelihood. Second, minimum standard for pay and benefits, which is establish minimum wage regulation to ensure fair compensation and deter exploitative practice. Employers failing to comply should be high penalties. And third, mandatory safety and healthcare standards, which enforce stricter regulation for safer work environments, especially in high-risk jobs. Employers and platforms should offer health insurance or subsidized medical treatments, such as accident cover for ride-hailing drivers. This measurement aims to promote a fair and sustainable labour market by collaborating government, employers, and society can build a more inclusive and equitable future, ensuring protection and opportunities for all workers. This transformation is vital for long-term economic stability and workforce welfare.
Next, I am going to explain future challenge. Automation driven by advance in machinery, robotic and AI is displacing jobs, particularly in sectors with repetitive tasks like transportation, manufacturing and retail. However, automation is also transforming industries by enhancing workers' roles, especially in sectors like healthcare, where AI assists with diagnosis and robot aids and surgeries, but human professionals remain essential. Youth unemployment and skill mismatch are major challenges impacting the labour market, especially for young people entering the workforce. This is often due to a lack of experience, limited job opportunities, especially in rural or economically disadvantaged areas, and economic issues like inflation. Skill mismatch occur when young job seekers' skills do not align with employers' needs, with many young people being either overqualified or underqualified for available position. It also happens because the lack of access due to education and training, particularly in underdeveloped areas. Next, government initiative. Education system from elementary to higher education should prioritize STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, program and also apprenticeship and industry-specific training. To address the skill gap, government established online job portals that help job seekers find opening based on their skills and qualification, and then use data analytics to predict labor market trends to guide workforce planning and identify skill shortage. Many governments are implementing gender equity policies to encourage women to enter male-dominated fields like STEM and leadership roles. Programs promoting disability inclusivity are also being introduced with special training, workplace accommodations and requirement effort to ensure equal access to employment opportunities.